Thanks for listening to our podcast Unmetered. As a member-owned, not-for-profit electric cooperative, our focus is on providing affordable, reliable, safe electricity and outstanding member service. One way that we're doing that is by providing more avenues of communication to you, our member. Through the podcast, we hope that you will be able to find some helpful hints, tips, and things to help you conserve energy, as well as some informational pieces that will help you understand what it means to be a member. So this week, I'm extremely excited to have Chris Jones here with us, President and CEO of myMTEMC Electric. Most members have seen his face. If they haven't seen his voice, they've at least, they, for the most part now, you've kind of been getting out and about a little bit more. We've had you on social media. We've had you on the podcast a couple times before. In fact, we actually had you on for broadband several episodes ago, Mike Knotts. So I think members are starting to get a little more comfortable with seeing you and hearing from you and understanding kind of where you're coming from, your background, because we did the interview on that, the first Unmetered podcast.
Sure. That's right.
So Chris, tell us a little bit about what has been happening here. We obviously a lot of the members have had some concerns about a couple of changes that we've made recently. And there's been a huge number of calls to our contact center.
Right. Sure.
Can you kind of talk to us a little bit about what's going on there?
Sure. Well, first, I hope that members are becoming more comfortable because I work for them, and we all do. And I want to thank both of you guys for the work you're doing and for this podcast and just for continuing to get our message out in different ways to our membership. I appreciate the creative thought, and we want to do more of that. So I want the members to know that this effort is for them. So thank you guys for doing that. Yes, absolutely. We've had a number of phone calls from our members because we've made some big changes. And certainly something I want to emphasize as we get started is I want to thank the members for their patience and encourage their patience because we have made some changes. We have brought online a new computer system that is going to pay us great dividends in member service as the months roll on.
Sure.
Anytime you make a big transition with the computer system, there are going to be some bumps in the road. There's going to be effort to make the transition smooth and some rough patches. And certainly we knew that going in, and we've seen that. You guys did a good job of getting the word out to help prepare members, but still, when it happens, there you go. So again, my thanks to the membership, and if I may encourage their continued patience with us, because this is a brand new system. We're still learning it. There's some kinks to continue to iron out. And, I guess a sentiment that I could express too is that when something like this happens, yes, you take a step back, but you do it for the purpose of taking 2 steps forward.
Exactly.
And I absolutely think that's what's going on with myMTEMC Electric right now, because we brought online a lot of new capability that will serve us and our members very, very well in the coming months and years. Right now, members have at their fingertips a lot more information than they did before, and that will continue to be the case. But again, it's a transition we're all working through. So,
with that in mind, you were talking about those new things that we have going on.
Right.
The newest thing I think that a lot of members are seeing now is we had a little bit of some bills that came through. So we at the very beginning of this month we made this shift over on July 10th. New bills came out.
Yes.
And we did have a lot of questions about when is my bill coming through, all those types of things. But that new bill that came out, how does that benefit the member?
Yeah, and very quickly. When we made the transition, there was no way around. Unfortunately, some of the cycles being a bit delayed, so some members did get their bill a little later than they were used to. I apologize for that. There was just no way around it. I hate it, but there was no way around it. But that new bill is something we're very proud of, and one reason we're proud of it is that it was an effort. There was an outworking of member outreach. We conducted a number of member focus groups to gather input from members about what they wanted to see on a bill. And this new bill design is a result of that process. Now, with any change, everybody's not going to be happy, and I want everybody to be happy, but that's not a reality. But we did put forth the best product based on direct member feedback that we could.
Sure.
And I think it's very effective. It gives a lot more information to the member right away about their energy usage. And at the end of the day, much of what we're trying to do through these new tools is to help the member to be more informed about their energy usage and to help them be more energy smart in the decisions that they make.
I think one of the great things, Chris, about the products and the pieces that we've rolled out here, in the last 3 weeks, are individually, the bill, the app, and the new member portal. Individually, they're all very informative. But what's cool about them is you can actually use them together. And it makes, it's almost like Legos. You individually have all the blocks that you can do certain things with, but you put them together and it makes so much more. Taking that bill and taking what we've done there and combining that with things like our app, that can show you the daily usage. We've had a lot of members that have reached out and said, "I love the app. The app is fantastic. Thank you." So kind of talk to us about what the thought behind the new member portal and the app. I mean, our old computer system. You said that when we upgraded, it wasn't that it was. I mean, it did the job. Did the job for a lot of years. But this is just a newer, better technology. So, what was kind of the thought of going forward with an app, and then what have you heard from some of your colleagues and some of the people that you're around?
Right. Well, first again, some of the decisions we made have been based on, and most fundamentally, information and comments we heard from members. We knew our members wanted an app. We knew our members wanted more information. So much of the decisions were driven from that. But at the end of the day, our mission is to serve our members, and we know that if we can help our members be more informed, they will make smarter decisions about their energy. We're not a for-profit company. We're not out to push more energy sales. We're out to push greater levels of member satisfaction. So knowing that at the end of the day, if members are more informed, they'll be more satisfied. That is the fundamental reason for the decisions we made. But like you said, Josh, these tools, as members get used to them, and it's going to take a bit to get used to them, but once they do, then they're going to see a lot of information at their fingertips, and they'll be able to put some of those pieces together, and they can go as deep as they want to with that. And again, we want them to reach out. We know we're overloaded with phone calls right now. There's no doubt about that. We expected that, but I'm glad that people are reaching out, and I hope they continue to do that in order to maximize their use of the tools that we've given them.
Well, I think also when you're talking about that high call volume, the updated system, I mean, the old system had been around for, 10
plus years.
10, 15 years. I mean, it was about time to kind of update and freshen some things up, like you said, for the betterment of our membership. But I think also to remember that during this high time of, traffic, high call traffic and those types of things, we've actually had almost 26,000 members who have signed up successfully to the new myMTEMC app, the new myMTEMC web portal. And a lot of those calls, as we go along, that's going to drop back down to the normal levels that we saw before the change. And so, like I said, Josh and I, we work in a place where we can see, the contact center, and we just see how hard they're working on that, trying to make sure that they get the right answers to the right members as quickly as possible. Now the new app, like I said, that's something that a lot of people are like, okay, it's 2017, you need an app, and so my question for you is, how excited are you for this app? I mean, truly, that's one of those things where you used to be in the same position that we're in now, and there was a time where the only thing that members could use was a bill. They could use the phone, they could call, or they just stop into the office. Now there's so many more communication tools using the app or using the web portal. I mean, how excited are you for this membership?
For that? Well, I couldn't be much more excited because really, that's when you think about the way that people operate today, personally, professionally, whatever. It's all about the handheld device. And especially the younger, the more often it's oriented that way. So. We had been wanting to do that for a while. It took us longer to get there than what we wanted, but now we're there. and I'm happy about it. And again, it is kind of a new era from that perspective. Putting a tool in the hands of our members that they can access right away through that smart device so much of what we do, whether it's billing information or outages and all those pieces. And so, yeah, couldn't be much more excited about
Well,
that.
I'll tell you, I'm a member, and as soon as we could download the app, I downloaded it, and yes, we have heard from members that some folks have a hard time registering. We're working with that. Contact Center's doing. We talked about it 2 weeks ago, and I cannot sing their praises enough. And I know that you were one of the creators of this contact center theory. What we have there, and so I'm sure that you feel this. I mean, they are just knocking it out of the park. They're so great.
So proud of them.
When I downloaded it, I immediately was able to look at my interval data, which goes back to a project that we had 2 years ago, with our new meters, and I mean, we're getting into high build time, Chris. That. Everybody knows that. We're getting into that time. I was actually able just the other day to show my wife. I pulled up our app and pulled up the interval data, saw how many kilowatt hours that we used, and we got to talking about it, and just roughly did some math, said it was about $5, and she said, well, that's not too bad, and she goes, oh wait, now multiply that times 31 days, and you see that $170 bill.
Yep.
But what we're finding from some of these folks in our contact center is that is very helpful for them. That's the stuff that they've been able to access for a long time, but it's dropping those type of calls from them, and
Sure.
and I'm sure that you're hearing the same thing from leadership, as far as how the contact center is doing and how our folks in the field are doing, because it's not just limited to our contact center. I think that's important too. We have folks across the company that are talking about myMTEMC, and I'm sure that you're hearing some of that feedback too. It's not just an individual effort; it's a team effort.
Right.
Well, and one thing I forgot to mention as well is we talk about the contact center all the time. Oftentimes it's people also in the area offices, the local
Absolutely.
offices that are also helping. So if these guys are getting hit hard, sometimes they're actually taking those calls and directing them to the local offices so that they can assist the members as well. And the other thing that has rolled out that the local offices have been doing, single-handedly, is they've been able to help sign people up in the office.
Exactly. I've seen that happen over and over again, and so proud of our team members again for taking the personal attention to do those kinds of things.
Yeah.
You said so many times that we're in a service industry, and we are servants first and foremost. So to see your team, I mean, you lead this team, to see your team do that, I mean, it probably does makes you kind of swell up a little bit.
No doubt. Yes, that people are. I mean, we tend to have people with that kind of heart at any rate. But even in times when they're under stress because of the increased call volumes or the volume of just people coming in the office, whatever the case may be, they're learning a new system, all that on top of them, but still taking the time to show that personal attention, demonstrating that servant's heart, couldn't be much prouder of them.
The team overall, the rollout, and we've talked about this, the rollout I think was smooth. We have our hiccups, we have our things. You've talked to us about some of the things that we're still learning, that we're still dealing with. Is there anything, Chris, that you just want to make sure and emphasize, whether it be to the team or to the members, before we wrap it up?
Well, again, I know we have a high call volume, Josh, and the efforts like this that you guys are putting forth, and we've got social media channels open, and again, I would encourage members to engage with us in constructive dialogue, and if they want, however they want to reach out, but let's make it a constructive dialogue. Right. And I want to take time to reach out to members who are, if they're really unhappy or they have ideas, we want to hear those from our members, because we're here to serve them. But again, I'll come back, if I could, to what I started with. And that is, if I may one more time, ask for the patience of our members, because again, this is just the reality we're in right now. And again, so excited about what we've already brought online, but also about that future. But again, this is a transition month, and next month is likely to be somewhat the same. Right. And I feel real good about where we are. But again, because of just the natural course of events and the transition, the volumes are heavy, the call wait times are going to be long. And so that's just the reality we're in now. So be patient with us, and again, we're working with them.
Come out and learn a little bit more at the annual meeting too. talk about some myMTEMC stuff at the annual meeting.
Yes.
Hear you and Mr. Woods talk a little bit about some of that stuff.
Yes, looking forward to the annual meeting, and absolutely.
That's
yes.
Well, and the annual meeting being on August 26th, I guess we should remind people when it is. August 26th.
That's right.
I think I know when it is.
The Embassy Suites.
The August 26th at Embassy Suites here in Murfreesboro.
Yes.
Registration starts at 7:30.
That's right.
And
Grand prize
closes
drawing.
around 10.
Yep.
Grand prize, of course, is the vehicle giveaway that we do every year. This year is actually a 2007 Ford F-150. Pretty excited about that. But as we finish, Chris, I just got one question for you. If you could sum up where Middle Tennessee Electric is, with the new system that's on, if you could sum up in one word about what members can expect for the future, what would that one word be?
It's hard for me to put things in one word, So there's
He's a communicator.
You're a communicator. It's
We don't do
like
that. It's one word with a definition.
Exactly.
Yes. I'm going to say innovation.
Okay.
That's a good one.
I think that's definitely where we're headed.
Yep.
That's good. Chris, we thank you for your time today. We know you're busy, but we appreciate any time that you can make for us to talk to the members and the employees, and it's really appreciated. And we hope to have you back here probably either before or right after annual meeting, because I think there's some other stuff that members are wanting to know.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Chris. Unmetered is brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric.